Welcome back to another episode of Heat Signature. In the last episode, I believe I had just gotten I just gotten the everything gun. I know that because that chip I just left was flashing, and that's sort of how you know, because it was a flashing chip that had the everything gun. They did actually do an update where, and I forget what it was. I think it was October 5th or something. But if you played before that date, you didn't even have to find the everything gun. It would unlock just because you played. People got mad about the everything gun. For whatever reason, people were like, I don't know. Well, people just didn't like the fact that you wouldn't get it if you didn't play by a certain point or some such. Although there will probably be a way to get it later. People were still mad about that, and I don't know why. It's just like a stupid little, thing. It doesn't matter. I have no idea. I guess I gotta capture that guy. Yeah, so this is footage. Basically, this is footage that... Yeah, okay, here's what happened. I accidentally deleted the narration. So this is from way back in September, I believe. And, yeah, I had the narration that I recorded live, but I accidentally deleted it, so I'm just doing it now. Speaking of things that make people mad, I mean, Shadow of Mordor had the microtransactions that made people mad, obviously, because it's, sort of a, it's like, it's a single player game, and it's, depending where you live and what edition you buy, for me, like, if I bought the full edition with the DLC and everything, it would have been, I think, 130. I didn't buy it. I bought a Nintendo SNES, the classic, sort of instead, because why not? If I buy it this year, I'll buy it at Christmas, but I might hold off for a while. I'm not sure. We'll see. I'm definitely going to buy Shadow of Mordor at Christmas. But the thing that annoyed me the most about it was just that they did a starter pack, which I think is different from the microtransactions, right? Like, the microtransactions would be in-game, in the market, I believe. And the starter pack is like a one-time purchase DLC sort of deal. So, I'm even just pulling it up here. Starter bundle. So it includes a silver war chest, a gold loot chest, and 100 gold. So I think gold is like this sort of exclusive currency or whatever. But yeah, I think this you can only buy once. But just the fact that it has a starter bundle, the starter bundle is like, I don't know. It's just, it's like, I don't know. Okay, it's supposed to only be for free MMORPGs and stuff like that. And even then, I don't like it. But, I'm just reading the reviews here. Actually, it got mostly positive. 72% of the 11 reviews have been positive for the starter, not the game now, the starter bundle. So, that's something. That's not something. I wouldn't buy the DLC, with the caveat, like, what I might try to do is I might try to buy this, like, once, it's all, discounted and that kind of stuff. And, oh wow, 30 seconds I'll capture. That's not a whole lot of time. Or am I trying to get captured? I don't remember. Because sometimes I have had to get captured on purpose to create a personal rescue mission, but it looks like I wasn't, so okay, fair enough. But yeah, I'd probably buy this like when it all gets put into a bundle and when it's discounted, and then at that point I really wouldn't be paying a whole lot for the bundle. Like, I'd probably try to wait maybe until I can pay $8 for all of it, or either that, like, I either might buy it at Christmas and then it'll maybe be a slight discount but I'll be paying mostly full price, in which case I won't, or if I really wait until it'll be a lot less expensive, then I'll probably get the starter bundle. It'll be based on that. I think I know what I think I know what's happening here. I'm pretty sure, like when I boarded that ship, what I was doing is I was looking for a ship to pilot to attack the ship with the assassination target on. I'm pretty sure that's what I was trying to do. And it looks like there's a ship there. So if I'm right, I'm probably gonna go ahead and board that one. So we'll see. The other thing that had people upset with Shadow of Mordor, was the someone, the DLC of the guy who would come and save you, and who had a name that I don't know what it is. So people were upset because they were saying that Monolith was, or I guess Warner Brothers, but that anyways, that one or the other or both were trying to profit off of the dude's death because the dude died. Which, even though it was meant to raise money for the family, so basically what, because I guess there's this weird thing where they couldn't admit that it was a charity thing. A charity thing in every country, because some countries would get super mad at you if you admitted it or some such. Not 100% sure what's up with that, but anyway, so they eventually just made it free, and then they just made a donation themselves. Here, I'm not sure because I think at this point I wasn't sure, because in the earlier versions of the game before it released, if you wanted to use the turrets, you had to leave, like the turret guys had to be alive and like not know that you were running around doing stuff, right? Like they had to be there, because basically they would think you're the captain, and then you would be like, okay, well, why don't you do this? And they'd be like, well, he's a captain, we'll do anything. But they changed that when they actually, like in the actual release of the game, you can just go ahead and kill them because it doesn't matter. As long as you get in that captain ship, there's nothing that's going to prohibit you from piloting the ship. But I don't think I realized that at this point. I think I thought you still had to keep them alive. I don't think I realized they changed it, and that's why there's dudes running around. But and I got knocked out. And that's probably when I learned, okay, you gotta take out the dudes that are running around. Wow, 6 seconds. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. Ooh, I missed 2 seconds. 1. Wow, with 1 second. 0 seconds. And I really don't like that mechanic, by the way, because I like the fact that it gets harder each time, but I don't like the fact that it doesn't recharge. And I probably have complained about this a lot, but like just in these videos, but because it's just stupid, because it essentially puts a half-life on your character where, if because you're gonna get thrown out the airlock, while injured. It's gonna happen unless you only do missions that take place on off-world security ships, because they will only knock you out, so then you don't have to worry about it. But it puts a half-life on your character, and I don't particularly like that too much, because it means eventually you're going to get to the point where if you're thrown out the airlock and you're injured, you're just going to die instantly. And I don't really like that. So, but yeah, the thing with that DLC is they just sort of made it free. It's not even DLC anymore. It's just part of the game now, and they just made a donation. So hopefully people aren't mad about that anymore. But people were like, I read even one thing that said that Monolith was, or Warner Brothers, I don't remember which, I don't know. People, oh yeah, this is, shooting rockets at me. Yep. And it's just, the range that they keep shooting rockets at you, I think, is a little ridiculous. Like, it's still shooting rockets, like, that's, like, those big ships are impossible to steer, by the way. And I didn't know this, but it seems like the smaller ships are easier. But, those big ships are ridiculous. Like, you cannot steer them at all. Like, it's so hard trying to get them to go anywhere. There's no brakes. So it's ridiculous trying to pilot them. It's basically untenable. you know. But yeah, I mean, basically though, with the DLC thing, you know, some guy on the internet accused Monolith / Warner Brothers of being guilty of crimes against gamers in quotation marks, and one of the things was the DLC, which I don't know what the big deal with trying to raise money for someone's family is. I don't know. I mean, I don't care, you know. But yeah, I don't know. People tend to blow things out of proportion. Like really, crimes against gamers. You don't think that's sort of blowing things out of proportion just a little bit, or a lot? I don't know. Yeah, I see. This is an off-world ship, so if you get taken out on this ship, did I really? There was no point of that at all. That was, yeah, that was completely pointless. Did I even take out the cat? No, did I? Okay, well, it looked like I shoot that. Sure. Okay. And I leave? Okay. I don't know. Well, at least it looks nicer. Just a little redesign, I guess. I think it looks a little nicer without those two parts. I don't know. He's gonna go back and he's gonna be like, "What the heck? I mean, part of my ship blew off, and also some of my friends are dead." You know, which kind of sucks. It kind of makes me feel bad about myself now that I think about what I did. It's kind of awful. I don't feel as bad about myself as those people who over-exaggerate things should, but I mean, whatever. I mean, I don't like that they put microtransactions, and I especially don't like that they put the starter bundle into Shadow of War. But I mean, let's try to. I mean, when you start getting over dramatic, you sound like a 5-year-old. Even, you know what I mean? You know how 5-year-olds try to make everything seem more serious than they do, or than it is. Sound like that. That's not to say that microtransactions aren't a problem. Case in point, Battlefront 4, also known as Battlefront 2, also known as Fake Front 2, which is, I either call it Battlefront 4 or Fake Front 2, because it's not neither it nor Battlefront 3, aka Fake Front 1, neither of them are actual Battlefront games. That's, you know, and really they're the third and fourth in the series. I don't know why they don't like those numbers. Do they forget how to count? I don't know. I thought counting was easy. I myself have not had a problem counting, to be honest. I can at least make it to 10 in multiple languages. Believe it or not, I can count to 10 in not just English, so shouldn't be a problem. There's a Half-Life 3 joke in here somewhere. I know it, I just thought of it. There's a Half-Life 3 joke. I'm sure that there's I haven't read a whole lot about Battlefront 4, but which is what I'm gonna call it. Or EA Front 2, which is sort of another way of saying fake. EA and fake, sort of interchangeable words. But I mean, I'm sure that was a whole meme. I had to have been, right? Like, you know, when the Battlefront 2 got announced, like the new one, the one I'm calling for, that had to be a meme, right? Something about like Illuminati confirmed and Half-Life 3 confirmed and stuff like that. I wouldn't even be surprised if someone put in a comment, you know, saying a whole bunch of like cryptic stuff and then going, "Let's take a look at more clues," which is not even a related thing, but I'm sure someone did it anyways, you know, because who cares if it's related or not. But yeah, it's not even a real Battlefront game, and the whole thing, I don't know what Battlefront 2 is going to be like, but the whole thing of Battlefront 1 is you can't just, I don't know about anything else, it seems like it was pretty crappy in like, you know, 1,000 other ways from what, because I've never played it, I'm never going to play it, but just from what other people have told me about it, it seems like it was pretty crappy. But you can't just skip an era. Here's the thing, I realize a lot of people don't like the Clone Wars era, and that's fine. However, just because you don't like it doesn't mean you can't skip it. You got to do all the movie eras. It's just you have to. You can't just hold back content and then charge the price for a full game when it's not a full game. To be honest, but yeah, I mean, that was to me one of the biggest. If I was that over-exaggerator, I would say crimes. But one of the biggest flaws, I'll say, of the game, the fact that they, felt like they didn't need to do all the eras, which is kind of important. I would have even liked an Old Republic era, which is the era. If you've ever played Knights of the Old Republic, that's the era. I think we're at the point where we can, where it's not too unreasonable to ask for that. Oh yeah, it's a glitch trap. Oh yeah, I think this is when I was trying to figure out how glitch traps work. This is probably the first glitch trap I found. I bet you I even glitch trapped that guy out of the ship, which is pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. See, look, he's walking towards it, walking, and boom, outside. If you can get one that recharges while you're on the ship without you having to go back to the station, that's your gold, and that's pretty powerful. And he's out there. That's hilarious. He's just gonna suffocate or something. But anyways, the thing is, Battlefront 4 is gonna have microtransactions for some reason. And some reason is EA wants to make more money, which is why there's microtransactions in Shadow of War, because Warner Brothers wants to make more money. But at least in Shadow of War, it's balanced. You can ignore it or you can use it if you want. At least it's a fair system. I don't like that it's in there, but it's a fair system as far as I'm aware. And it could be useful in some cases for people who don't mind spending, because some people spend all their money on gaming and they just don't care. So for people like that, whatever. But I don't know why I was teasing that station and saying if it would shoot at me or whatever I was doing with. I don't know was I trying to get this shoot at me, because I feel like that's what I was trying to do. But but it's it's balanced. It could be useful in some points. Like if you do a failed assault and you just need to get your dudes back. Although you could use the in-game currency as well, which is part of the reason I think that's not as bad. But in Battlefront 4, it's going to be basically pay to win. But EA clarified it's not going to be entirely play to win, just mostly, because all the stuff that's in the loot crates or whatever it's called, or loot drops, or loot chests, whatever it's called. I'm analog age. I'm old school. I don't know what all this new stuff is called. But you'll be able to get it other ways. So, but it'll be a lot harder, and so it'll be pretty play to win in that respect. That so you won't have it immediately. You'll have to put a lot of work in to get it, whereas everyone else will have it immediately, and that's going to put you at a major disadvantage. So it's just, it's mostly play to win, just not entirely. But I think there's adequate reason to be upset about that, to be honest. I don't know if I mentioned before, but also Space Engineers had microtransactions for an hour. People lost their minds because half of the people wanted it and half the people didn't, and so the people that didn't lost their minds. But that was overreacting to and part of the reason is because of stuff though that Battlefront 4 is doing means that anytime it's done, people are going to get upset because people are worried that it's always going to be like Battlefront 4, but it's not. Sometimes it's going to be okay. I don't think there's anything wrong with what they did with Space Engineers. It's just some people wanted to try to get the skins without having to unlock it. They don't really make a difference to the game, let's be honest, right? I mean, really. So, it's not a big deal. It was just a limited time event anyways, just to help those people out. And also, they are Steam items that you can actually sell on the Steam market. So, The only um, space engineer skins I have are the what are they called? The veterans ones. So I think they sell. I'm just checking it. They each sell for looks like 3 cents each. So they probably sold for more in the item store. That's where Keen Software House would have sold them. So they sell for probably more there in the the 1 hour that they were selling skins. But yeah, either way, you can actually sell them. They are actually items with real world value, which makes it a bit better. But yeah, it was just a way to help a couple of people out who wanted that. I don't think everyone else had to get upset about it. But yeah, people blow things out of proportion. Like when I was working at, I did call center took calls for Canada Post a while ago, and I don't know. So I guess because I didn't actually work for Canada Post, I just took calls for them. Working for a third-party company. So I wasn't part of the Canada Post Union or anything, but the Canada Post Union went on strike. People were calling into and they go, "So this is the end of Canada Post as we know it," and they were serious. And they legitimately thought that Canada Post, that they wouldn't be able to send their mail, and that Canada Post was going to go to business. They thought mail was over forever, and that it was all ending because of the strike. And it's like, you don't think that's an overreaction? And oh yeah, that's the stealth shield, which is kind of a neat thing. So you can sort of use it to so people can't see you. And then you can steal their cards from them, which is kind of cool. But working at Walmart, because they put in the self-checkouts, and they're like, people, on the 2 days I had cashier training, people were like, those self-checkouts, means you're going to lose your job. All you cashiers are going to lose your job. And it's like, well, the joke's on you, because I'm not a cashier. So I don't care. The cashiers could lose their jobs. I'm not going to lose my job. The cashiers are not going to lose their job. The Walmart I work at is hiring new people, including cashiers. They don't have enough cashiers as it is. And, even with the self-checkouts, which I love. I like the self-checkouts because I can go through it really fast. If I don't have a lot of items, I can get through it pretty fast. But, yeah. And it's in the page they do to tell people that they're hiring. It's like, Walmart is hiring. That's right, Walmart is hiring. We're hiring blah, blah, blah. And we're hiring cashiers. That's right, we're hiring cashiers. Because people thought all the cashiers were going to lose their jobs. But it's kind of funny, And, everyone said that and they were overreacting. But, it's like, well, I'm not a cashier anyways. So, it doesn't really matter to me a whole lot. Because, yeah, not a cashier. So if all the cashiers lose their jobs, I'm still gonna have mine. They can't really replace my job with a machine or with anything right now. Maybe in the next 10 years they can, but not even that. Maybe in the next 20 years they can, but they can't replace my job yet. Yeah, people overreact. Which Walmart does need to hire more people. Even today, there is no one. There's it's called the GM department, but I call it the entire left side of the store department. Anyways, there's 2 people who were there who I was trying to get help for, and it's a whole story. It's a whole thing. Basically, so I was working in foods, and little plastic things that they put the labels in. I was there. I only did a 4.5-hour shift today, which kind of sucks. But I think over the course of that shift, I must have fixed up 10 of them because they're all broken. I don't know. I don't even know how they break. How when you see how bent out of shape they are, how does this happen? Because I don't know how this could happen by accident. I really don't. But anyways, whatever. So I had to go to electronics to get some tape, and then when I was in electronics, this guy who basically came from furniture because there was no one back there, he came to electronics to get someone where there would be someone. He got me, and I didn't really know the answer to his question, so I was trying to get someone from furniture to help him, and that was the whole thing. I was paging, I was going on the walkie-talkies, I was, and so eventually I just pulled someone from electronics, and there, a ghost thief, because I was able to steal it while doing the ghost claws. So that's an achievement, and I am trying to get all the achievements in this game. So rather good for me, I suppose. But anyways, yeah. So I actually did pull someone from electronics, and there was also someone in sports who needed help. So they wanted to buy some ammo. And even though I live in Canada, we do sell ammo. We don't sell guns, but we sell ammo. You know, in the States, they sell guns, and people can bring their guns into Walmart. It's like a whole thing. Not so much in Canada, but we do sell ammo. So you want to buy ammo. I'm not trained to sell ammo, so I can't. Like, I just cannot actually sell ammo. But I can go get ammo keys. So the girl I got from electronics, she was trained to sell ammo. So basically I had her help the first customer, and then I told the second customer that basically I was going to go run to the front, get the keys, and I would bring them back, and she would be along to actually sell him the ammo as soon as she helped the first guy. So that's what we did. But it was a whole very long, I was running around, it was exhausting. It was a lot of work. There was no one in the entire left side of the store. Not a single Walmart employee. At all. And it's a big left side of the store. There's like 8 departments in there or something. It's massive. And not a single employee. That's kind of bad. I mean, Walmart needs to step up its hiring game. It really needs to get more people on the floor. Here's something. And this will let you know where I live. You'll be able to figure it out from this, in case, for the no one who cares. But I saw a recent battalion game where they went up against the 67s and lost, thankfully, because 67s are not, like, here's the thing. I am not a sports fan in the least, but I love the 67s. They're great. And 67s won, no surprises there. And the 67 goalie is really good. I don't know, because the battalion got so many goals on the 67's goalie, and more so than the 67s actually got on the battalion's goalie, because the battalion team was actually very good, or at least they did very good against the 67s, because the 67s were very sloppy in the game, to be honest, and that's evidenced by how many goals they actually or how many times they actually let the opposing team take shots on their goalie, compared to how many times the battalion let the 67s take shot on their goalie. But anyways, by the third period, it ended with a 3-3 tie. Basically every period the 67 scored, and then the battalion scored. So it went to sudden death, and within, I think, 20 seconds, the 67 scored the goal. Is that what I said? I feel like I said goaled the score, but I meant to say scored the goal. So, and then immediately, it was so funny, as soon as that goal went in, immediately people were up and leaving. They're like, well, yeah, the time on the clock, all that time left on the clock, doesn't matter anymore. Yep, we've lost, it's over. Because everyone there, if you can imagine, was a battalion fan. There was one other person besides me and the people I was with who was a 67s fan. He was like on the other side of the stadium, but no one was cheering right. It was amazing. No one was cheering right. And oh yeah, I was probably checking if there was some way to break the big ships, because like I say, they're very hard to handle. But I mean, yeah, I don't know if it's just because I live in a smaller town or what, but people didn't know how to cheer properly. But it's amazing how, it's just amazing how people get with sports, because like every time the battalion's made a mistake, there's some people in front of us who go, "Come on, that should have been easy for you." It's like, really? Would you like to get on the ice and do it? And there's one woman who shouted, I don't know, I think she said, "Do better, Brady." I don't know. It was that or someone. It was one of the players' names. I'm like, what are you, his mother? That's what she sounded. Like parents in the bleachers. "Do better, Brady." But at one moment she was so obnoxious. She kept yelling. She was like, "Hey Tucka, dive! Hey Tucka, dive!" And even this the 67's goalie at one point was on like his hands and knees, and then this battalion guy tried to jump over him and kind of tripped a little bit, and she was like, "Give the goalie a penalty," and it's like, really? Okay, well, you're an insane human being. I don't know. I think he was probably an idiot. To put that as nicely as I can. That's a Canadian way of saying what I would say if I was, say, an American. I'm just joking. But one of the funniest parts was this battalion guy. The puck was coming. It was really high in the air, and he tried to jump up and grab it, and but it was really high. I'm like, does this turn into baseball? Are we playing baseball now? What's happening? But sports fans get really like connected to the teams, and so I remember like with the whole Patriots deflated ball thing, like people, I saw interviews where they interviewed fans, and they were like, this whole thing, it didn't happen because we're Patriots and we don't do that. I'm like, really? You're on the Patriots team, eh? Yeah, okay. Because I thought you were just a fan. So, yeah, what's up with that? But I don't know. The 67s were kind of sloppy with their puck handling and intercepts, or whatever intercepts are called in hockey, or if it's called the same thing. I don't know sports terminology. I realize intercept is a football thing. I do know what an intercept is with respect to football. I just don't know what it's called when you like intercept the puck in hockey, or if it's still an intercept. But see, I'm just trying to use the ship to shoot the other ship, but it's really hard because it just handles like crap. It's really, the thing I learned is it's kind of untenable. But even I because it was hard for me to cheer, because basically my cheering was call and response. Because every time the battalion started to do good, everyone would be clapping, and I would just be sitting there, and then the battalions would make a mistake, and then people would be like, "Oh, come on, that should have been easy for you. What gives? Oh, you let me down." And then I would start clapping. Like I basically clapped every time the goalie did well, the 67 goalie, which was a lot. Every time the battalions messed up, and every time the 67s did something really cool, and every time the 67s scored, which is amazing. Like sports is the greatest thing, because sports is the greatest thing because it means, and look at where all those rockets are flying, because it's hard to even aim for rockets. Even that's hard with these big ships. But sports is the only thing you would ever, boo someone for doing badly or applaud them for doing well based on the t-shirt they're wearing, and then even applaud them for doing poorly based on the t-shirt they're wearing. But it was hard for me to cheer because it was an arena of people who didn't know how to cheer, where I was basically the only person cheering. I was like a one-man cheering section for that goalie, basically. So even when they scored, I was like, yeah! Because like it was hard, it was hard to cheer. Like even when they have a thing where it's like make some noise, it was sad. I was a little depressed by the and I'm an introvert, so I like going to sports games sometimes because it's just a chance to be like loud and in a context where it's not obnoxious, and to cheer and clap and yell. And there was no "we will rock you," though in the arena that was never done, and the battalion cheer sucks. It's like it's basically the cheer is basically this go, go, go. That's like, okay, well, that's a fine. Anyways, when the 67s won, everyone was walking out. I'm going, oh whoa whoa, 67s, whoa whoa, 67s, and I'm sure people around me were like, okay, that guy's got to shut up, but I don't know. It was fun though. I enjoyed the game. The arena was really warm. You know how arenas are normally cold because of the ice? Yeah, it was really warm. I don't know what happened. It was incredibly warm, and that took me a little bit by surprise, to be honest. Anyways, this video is coming to a close. Spoiler alert: I did not hit that ship with any rockets. I'll tell you that much right now. But yeah, so I believe I just get out of of the ship he's in, and then into the pod, and then I'll probably try to take on the ship. But this is the end of the video, so if you liked it, please give it a like. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.